Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Chronicles of Apple from the apple of my eye, and I just got done with work and the trying to be productive. I had been reading I've read that book of Isaiah. I can't say that I understood everything about it, but from what I am observing, Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, along with the other those are the major prophets, and then the minor prophets are all alluding to the same thing that is in the future. So it was quite surprising to me because I thought it's all different times that it would apply. But in essence, as I am reading it, certain things that has happened in the past are either being repeated or it was destined to be prophecies that are meant for our society today. And I am still kind of trying to digest this. For example, Isaiah, at the end of his life, he was actually cut in half, which is interesting because in the Muslim world, Isa is Jesus Christ. And Isaiah, his name also has the word Yah in it, and it still alludes to the name of God. And then you're looking at Ezekiel, and he suffered in in many other ways. It's like he has to sleep on the side, and then it's a total of 430 days. So for 390 days, he was on his left side, and he was eating just a simple bread, Ezekiel bread, I guess. And then he has to be on his right side. And I am not sure if the left side, okay, you're looking at Isaiah, and Isaiah seemed to me like what's happening in Israel right now is like it's split, right? So we have the two states thing that never worked, and for the same reason, Isaiah is cut in half, and it was a very painful death. But I'm sure that in the end, the Lord has redeemed him, and we don't know exactly how Isaiah is, but I'm pretty sure he's in heaven. So he didn't stay ripped off and divided. He was eventually united by God in his heavenly body. So in much the same way, Israel is kind of in the same pattern. And there is a lot of things alluding in the book of Isaiah alone that pertains to what is happening today. And all of the betrayal, and all of them speak of the same thing, the betrayal of Israel. The issue with Judah and Israel, the judgment of God upon them, and all the other nations getting judged after them, after they're being judged, or even sometimes simultaneously. Things were happening in Egypt and Tyre and the Ammonites and so on and so forth, and those are all in the vicinity of the Middle East, or pretty much right there in Israel or close to Israel. Then as I am going through Ezekiel 25, it starts to give sort of a blessing once more. And there's just so much about these things for me to really digest, that instead of just trying to purge it out and having me talk about it, it is best that I just encourage everybody to please take a look at what's happening in those major prophets and see how it applies today, because we're hitting a war that's gonna most likely go to 1 year, which is basically the Israel war right now. And in just another less than 60 days, it would hit 390 days. So it looks like around Hanukkah time, if that will be October 7th, okay? So it looks like right before Hanukkah, and it will probably be around somewhere in December, middle of December or end of December, Hanukkah is going to happen in 2024. And it looks like before that time, most likely the war is over. And it looks like the war would have a pause, but then there's another 40 days. After the 390 days, there's going to be another 40 days that something is going to happen in Israel. And it's a judgment, it seems like, on the left wing and the right wing. And it seems like the judgment of the left wing is happening right now. And then the self-righteous people is probably the right wing, and there's judgment for that. And then there's all these things. And what I see there is that we're all being challenged by the Lord to be salt and light. Jews and Christians, we have a duty to be salt and light, and those are challenged for us, okay? The Lord is saying, we are salt and light of the world, because of look at all of these things that's happening, and the only thing that's really protecting us is the law of the Lord, because all of this rebellion is taking place. And when I look at the menorah, which I believe is the true symbolism of Israel, is the menorah, is the flag with a menorah, not the Star of David, because Star of David has a lot of issues. There is no Star of David in the Bible, from what they're saying. And they said it's the Solomon star, and we know that Solomon has had a lot of women. He really kind of lived it up. He lived it up, okay? And there's just a lot of wives, and it's part of the reason why Israel is so divided. And there is a lot at play, and we cannot minimize each individual prayer unto God. Because again, that salt and light, and this is something that I just received from a concert, okay? I went to a Christian concert, and this young woman, which I was surprised that she gave such a weighty sermon, okay? And I don't really expect sermon from women. I don't buy that as much, but as I was there, I was like, okay, let me listen to what she has to say. It makes a lot of sense. We are salt and light, but how often do we act like salt and light? It is a challenge for each and every one of us. So Israel, the Jews, okay, having that history and the struggle that they're going through, it is literally, God is purging idolatry out of Israel. He is displacing people, both Jews and Gentiles, whether they're Palestinian or Jewish people, they are displaced, and they're having to sacrifice so much. Even, over 800 IDF has died already. And this is not an easy war. It's not a 6-day war. It's not a week war. It is a war that appears to be going on and on. And even all over the world, I'm not sure that it's the 40 days symbolism of some of the Jews that are outside of Israel. And then what is the meaning of all this? So there's just a lot going on. Like, what does 390 days mean? When Ezekiel was on his left side and he seemed to be eating dung. It's just, there's a lot of dung thing, and it's pertaining to the idolatry of Israel. So anyway, I'm going to end it right here, and thank you and God bless.